So I thought I'd just some things right off my desktop here. Ungradable coins that I have cleaned before. You might be able to get a Shelton grade, a number grade on one of these before I clean it. I doubt it, because most of them have cleaning marks from 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. For a coin to last for 150 years and not be cleaned, well, this book says 85% chance that that's not so. Only 15% of those coins have not been cleaned. That's what the collectors are looking for. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm not a collector. I'm a stacker and I'm a gift giver of silver. Okay? So I just wanted to show you these. So I think we zoom in all the way on this. And I'm going to put you right here and see what happens. I think that'll do. This may take a while because this is a long video that I'm going to review. I want to say right off the bat, what is wrong with this cleaning video and everybody cleaning, not cleaning, everybody on the subject of cleaning fails to do. They fail to separate the Shelton grade coins with numeric grades, whether they be in a holder or whether they still are raw. Maybe you got that 15%. Everybody fails to separate those from the un-Shelton gradable coins. The coins that cannot be graded on a Shelton scale because something in 150 years of existence has happened to them that they are no longer in perfect condition, like the 15%. If you got the other ones, you got the 85% that has something wrong with it that makes it ungradable. If you got the 15%, then you have something that is gradable. These are two totally different kinds of coins. How can you talk about those two kinds of coins in the same sentence? Because they're just not the same thing. All right? For one thing, if you have a gradable coin, that's that 15% of coins that have made it through, still in perfect condition, like they came from the mint, maybe with a little oxidization on them that turns them some weird colors. Okay? If you have one of those, you shouldn't need to clean it. If you have that 15%, if it's mint state, you should not even have to clean it. Why do you have to clean it? Now, if you have the other 85%, you go all the way from black as night to colors that look like somebody barfed on the coin, to people scratching their initials in the coin, scratching little hearts in the coin, to people shooting the coin with a bullet. I mean, who knows? That 85%, I'm talking about Morgan dollars here, but it kind of applies to all coins. I just happen to do Morgan dollars. That 85% covers all the way from an almost uncirculated, or even an uncirculated coin can end up not gradable. Almost uncirculated, okay? Somebody cleaned it with toothpaste. Boom, what are you going to do? Throw it in the trash? No, it moves from that 15%, which it probably, I don't even do the 15%, okay? So the people who want to talk about the 15% coins, Shelton graded on a numerical scale, all right, they can just go over there and I'm going to let them talk about it. They can talk about their fingernail polish, acetone, their dry cleaning fluid, MS-70, coin dip. Some of them even dip in sulfuric and urea coin dip, E-Zest. Okay, some even use that, which to me, I don't even use that on my 85% of the coins that are ungradable. I don't even use sulfuric acid on my coins. It's really hard to neutralize that, or to be assured that you neutralized it. So I noticed that Dubsy was had said he's been in this for a long time. Well, I haven't been in this long time, but I have this book here. And I've also checked out the more recent 1998 version of this book. And this book is a comprehensive catalog and encyclopedia of U.S. Morgan and Peace silver dollars. So this is, I think, 1972 edition? Is that what it is? 76. I'm not sure. But Van Allen and Malice, who are the experts, say in this book that all silver should be cleaned. All silver should be cleaned. And then in the 1998, they come back and they kind of say, no, it shouldn't be cleaned. But either one, they tell you how to clean coins at that point in time. Now, at this point in time, I don't even use their methods for cleaning coins. I use sodium fluoride, and this is a 0.8, 0.08, whatever it is. This is twice as strong as Crest toothpaste, and Crest toothpaste has sand in it, has sand in the toothpaste. This toothpaste, and I'm not trying to be mean, that's just my comical style of satire or whatever, but this is true that this has wood pulp in it instead of sand, okay? There's actually a scale of how abrasive toothpaste are. Okay, but most of those toothpaste, they do have, this may have a little bit of baking soda in it. Have you ever tried to scratch a coin with baking soda? I mean, it got your loop out. You got a loop, right? Or your microscope, or whatever. Okay, have you ever tried, get your loop out and look at it. Have you ever tried to scratch a coin with baking soda? Go try it. You will find out that baking soda's about as slippery as ice. Back to the point, this has wood pulp in it. Now, this used to have plastics in it, copolymers, which I have a sack of copolymers here. Right here. Got copolymers. To add with this, got copolymer thickers. Copolymers are just plastic. Okay, you have a hard time scratching the silver with plastic. I'm not saying you can't do it. You can burnish or flatten surfaces. The field of a Morgan silver dollar is radial polished. You can flatten that polish. So that's kind of where I'm at. I try and follow the rules that were written all the time, all the years that you Dubsies have been a member of the ANA, and I keep track of the ANMA. That's the guy who comes on here and says, "It ain't your coin. It's my coin, and I'll tell you what you can and can't do with it. And then he doesn't tell me whether it's a gradable coin or ungradable. He's an idiot, really. I think he's an idiot. But one of the things that he did say is that toning, all toning will go to black eventually. Toning goes through phases of color. Okay? The quicker you put it in a capsule, get it protected, neutralized, protected, the slower that transition will be. You got it sitting in a Cajun kitchen, then maybe that toning will go from yellow to black a lot faster than if you have it in a PCGS coin holder. Probably lost everybody by now, but let's see if I can get through some of this. Probably gonna have to go to the library to upload this.
Several months ago, I decided that I would start doing a series of videos with quarterly updates to my precious metal, my coin stack. That's because I pick up odds and ends on a regular basis, and often they just aren't worthy of making an entire video. But I thought maybe it'd be nice if we made a quarterly update. So spring, summer, winter, and fall and winter, I'll be doing quarterly updates. And the last one that I did, I mentioned these 5 silver coins that you see here before you. And I mentioned that update that I would be cleaning them. It actually didn't get quite the response that I was hoping for. I was kind of needling you guys, and nobody really called me out on it. That's what this video is going to be about. In fact, this is going to be a 2-part video series where I talk about cleaning coins. Now, this is a topic that is incredibly controversial, and this topic is probably long overdue if you're one of my subscribers, but I felt it was probably important for...
It's more than controversial. These people are out to get you. If you clean a coin, it doesn't matter how bad a shape it's in, how unretrievable that coin is, they are going to torture you. Or at least, up until recently now, more and more people are talking about, more people are realizing that, dude, I just don't like a dirty ass coin. I want my silver to be silver. Why can't I clean it off?
For me to finally get this up.
They're not collectors. They're not like Dubsies, okay? They haven't been collecting since they was a little kid. And they just don't have an appreciation for all that history and stuff. They want something that they like the looks of. And that black coin right there, just not gonna fit the bill. You try and tell somebody this is silver. That don't look like silver. That looks like some dirty old copper or something. No, I'll tell you, it's silver underneath that dirty stuff. Normal people, I mean, not to say that a coin collector is not normal. I mean, average people who don't collect coins think that's pretty damn nasty looking right there, and they don't want it. They want this silver one right here. Why can't I have every one of my pieces of silver, my coins, be the same color as this one? Why can't I have that? Well, you're just not allowed to, because we don't like it. We don't like it, and you're not going to be a part of our group. Well, that's good, because I never was a part of your group. I didn't even buy any silver at all until I was 55 years old. I didn't been chasing around people hanging out at the coin shop on Saturday. No, that was not me. I was like fishing, hunting, riding motorcycles, chasing girls, So I'm not saying that it's bad to be a collector. It's just not something I've ever been interested in.
Out there and let you know what my thoughts are. If you are new to the channel, my name is...
And if this community of precious metals is nothing but collectors, if we're all collectors, all right, if no stackers are allowed, okay, then I think there's a whole lot of people that need to move over and make their own community. Maybe we could have like the 15% collector community and the 85% non-collector community, and still have us all talking about precious metals and silver. I don't think so. Somebody's going to take a hit.
Dub C, I want to thank you for being with me here today. If this is your first time with me, or maybe you've caught a couple of my videos before, I'd like to encourage you to click on the subscription button down below. It doesn't cost anything. It's just a way of showing support for the channel. And you guys who are returning subscribers, you know I thank you deeply and honestly and sincerely. I wouldn't be making these videos if they hadn't found such a nice community of people who want to watch this information. So thank you guys as always for being with me here again today. I also like to begin my videos with a disclaimer, and that disclaimer is that I am not a financial advisor. I'm not trying to offer any kind of financial advice. I'm simply trying to share some of my experience having bought and sold precious metals and rare coins for the last 30 or 40 years. And usually at this point I would jump into a couple of definitions that we can talk about as we go deeper into this video. I am going to be talking about a couple of definitions later in this video. There's two in particular. We're going to be talking about PVC, and we're going to be talking about acetone. I think those are subjects that deserve a little bit more concentration, but I wanted to kind of augment that disclaimer that I just gave you, and I want to make perfectly clear, especially because this is a controversial subject, and I want to make 2 points crystal clear. The first one is that if you're watching this video, you are a precious metal stacker, you're a grown-up, right? You don't need Dub C telling you what you can and can't do with your possessions, and I'm not trying to tell you what you can and can't do. I'm offering an opinion, and that's really what this is. This is my opinion. You're a grown-up. You can make up your own mind. You don't need my opinion, but I am offering my opinion.
There are people in this community, though, that go beyond offering opinion, and they just keep cramming it down your throat and cramming it. When you're telling them, look, it was already cleaned when I bought it. It doesn't matter whether it was cleaned when you bought it or not. You still can't clean it. That's against our rules. I'm like, I'm not in your club, man. All right? I don't have to follow your rules. I don't have to follow the ANA rules, the PCGS. The only rules that I have to follow is the rules for ungradable coins.
Opinion in this video.
I agree with you guys on the 15% of coins that are gradable. All right? Leave them alone. There's no reason you should have to touch them. Just send them in, get them graded, get them in the holder, get them down to the shop, turn them over, flip them over, and grab your $25 and run. Okay? That's all good, but I'm not one of those people. Okay? I'm the 85% of the coins that are ungradable and have probably previously been cleaned and most likely have damage. Some of them severe damage, some of them.
For this subject. Keep that in mind. The second thing that I wanted to make abundantly clear is that there is no real correct way to clean a coin, and I will go much, much deeper into that. But it's important to remember that
there's not a real correct way to clean anything. You go wash your hands with lye soap, okay, made with, I don't know, beef lard, okay? And some guy's going to tell you, you're not cleaning your hands right. You need to have olive oil soap. Well, maybe I don't want to use your olive oil soap, all right? There's no correct way to clean anything. There's only, let's try and see how well it works. That's all there is.
I'm talking about these subjects. They are really opinions, especially when it comes to cleaning a coin. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but at the same time, I want to make it very clear that what I'm going to be showing with you and discussing with you is truly my opinion. Now, I've given my opinion about things in the past, and you guys who are returning subscribers know that generally I don't really like giving my opinion about something because that's not why I created.
The problem is I think your opinion is vague because you're not separating the 15%. Read this book. It will tell you 15% gradable coins, 85% ungradable coins. You're not separating them into two. You're just talking about like they're the same thing, and they are absolutely, positively Anybody should know it. Not the same thing. The rules for an ungradable coin and the rules for a gradable coin are just not the same, especially when you say, I don't belong to any club and I don't want to follow your rules. Now they're really, really not the same. Really not the same.
This channel, I don't like to just hear myself talk.
And these guys have money running out their ears. I see collections of graded coins. They're all $200-$300 coins, and they got 20 of them there. I can't afford that. Okay, I got kids. I got grandkids. I had to bring up a family, and I'm not going to get into some of the tough run that I had in bringing that family up. Okay, but I can't afford, so what are you going to do? You going to just kick me out of the club? I have to go find, I'm okay with being kicked out of your 15% club. I'm going back to the 85% club. All right? So, you need to separate your opinion between being a graded coin, a gradable coin opinion, and being an ungradable coin opinion. Okay, what happens if I put this on ungradable coin? What happens if I put it on a gradable coin? You're wrong about the value. If you go shopping on eBay, you will notice that the blast white coins sell for more money. Okay? And the only difference between the blast white, all right, and the black tarnished toned coin that nobody wants to buy, okay, is the shiny one has been cleaned. Okay, the black one has not been cleaned, so people don't want it. They don't want it. I buy it, I clean it, now it just looks, so actually you can raise the value depending on the customer.
Okay, well maybe a little bit, but really what I'm trying to do here is share some of my experience. This case is really an opinion, but I want you to keep in mind that I've been doing this for a very, very long time. I say at the beginning of my videos,
the problem with experience and a very, very long time is we're not still riding horse and buggies. Okay, this ain't the 70s. It ain't the 1870s, it's not the 1970s. We're not still, and I suffer, I'm 60, almost 65 years old now. I suffer from the same thing, believe me. I mean, I do have an iPhone, okay? But I suffer from the same things. I want a stick shift and I want to roll my window up and down with a crank. Okay, I do. But as more products and more methods and more technology comes out and more opinions comes out, which a lot more, since you got stackers coming in now, you got a lot more opinions than you was just getting from collectors. Rich, wealthy, I got a lot of money to spend collectors. Okay, now you got poor people like me moving in. I mean, what is there a small place for us 85% guys away from you, 15% guys?
30 or 40 years, it's really probably closer to 50 years. I'm just trying to be as safe and as honest with you guys as I can be. And in that 50-year period of time, I have had abundant conversations with all sorts of specialists in coin collecting and numismatics, dealers and collectors from all around the world. I am a member of the American Numismatic Association. I am a member of NGC. I am a member of CAC. And I have been focusing on this for a very long time. So while I am not an expert, and I'm not claiming to be an expert when it comes to cleaning coins, I do have a pretty stable and solid basis to be making the opinions, to be talking about the opinions that I have. Ultimately, it's going to be up to you. You can take my opinion with a grain of salt. You can decide that it's probably worthwhile listening to what I have to say.
Just make that sodium fluoride salt.
But it's going to be on your shoulders. You're going to have to make these decisions when it comes time to clean a coin, if it ever does. So I wanted to get that kind of out of the way. I'll try to make this as fun and entertaining as I can, but I do see this as a very serious topic. So hopefully you'll forgive.
I'm sorry I'm not making this fun and entertaining, but I have been ridiculed. I've been accused of being a drunk just because I clean coin in this community. All right? An ungradable coin.
Give that extended version of my disclaimer, and we'll
I really like doing funny videos better, but
jump right into it. So the cardinal rule of coin cleaning. The cardinal rule of coin cleaning.
I'll tell you something else. There's a difference between somebody's opinion that comes from a Democrat than from a Republican. I swear to God, there is. Democrats have a different way of dealing with people than Republicans have with dealing with people. And you go back to the Civil War if you want to know more about that.
Is that we don't clean.
I don't like doing political either, but that's just history.
Coins. Full stop. That's the end of that discussion. We don't clean coins. You don't clean coins if you have an appreciation for the quality of the history, the longevity, the...
Here's the history, right here. Here's the history book, 1976. It says all coins should be cleaned. So what are you talking about? I don't know. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Even in the 1998 version, it kind of says all coins should be cleaned, and it goes on to explain how to clean and properly store. It changed the name from cleaning to preservation. So sometimes it's a matter of vocabulary. If you use the right vocabulary in the right place, then you're okay. But if you don't know coin vocabulary, then you're going to get your ass kicked around in here, man, in this club. All right?
Everything else about coins. We don't clean coins. I heard a whole bunch of people just click off the video. Bear with me if you haven't yet clicked off the video, because this really is kind of an important topic. There are exceptions to that cardinal rule, but the reasons why we don't clean coins, the number one rule, is probably the ordinal rule to go along with those cardinal rules, and there are about 5 or 6 of them. So let me run over my thoughts about why we don't clean coins. The first one...
Before you do that, let me go over my thoughts of these are your 5 rules. Now, you may have got them from somebody else, who got them from somebody else, who got them from somebody else, but they're your 5 rules. They're not my 5 rules. Okay? And I do have rules in what I will and won't do with a coin, but my rules are not your rules, because your life is totally different than my life. Okay? We play by the same laws, but we ain't playing by the same rules. That's where I start questioning somebody. Are you a Democrat? Because I go by laws, and Democrats have a tendency to go by rules, and there I am being political again.
Is probably a little bit difficult to understand if you are new to this hobby of coin collecting and coin stacking. It's that a coin's condition cannot be improved by cleaning. I said the word condition there, and that was...
On eBay, the value of a coin can be raised by cleaning. A good example is that coin right there. That black coin right there. If you clean it to where it looks like this silver coin right here, on eBay, you will get more money for it. Unless it's a gradable coin. Still, you're probably still not going to get more money. You're going to get more money for a silver coin that's silver than you are a silver coin that's black.
Intentional word for me to use.
In my opinion.
Condition of a coin cannot be improved by cleaning a coin. If you're not part of this community, the idea of a coin being bright and shiny seems obvious, right? You think that that's what coin collectors and stackers are after, is something that's bright, shiny.
No, I don't even care what coin stackers and collectors are after. I care about people who are not coin collectors. What are they after? Do they want something that costs $200 and looks real pretty? Okay? Or do they want something that costs $38 and looks real pretty? Okay? If they can keep the $160, $162 and spend that on a good, taking their family out to shrimp and fish and chips, then what difference does it make to them? They don't care. They're not coin collectors. They're just regular people.
Shiny, clean. But that's not the case. Coins have a very, very delicate surface when they are first released from the mint. Doesn't matter if it's a coin from 500 years ago or the penny that's in your pocket right now. Those original surfaces are something that coin collectors look for. I'll go a little bit deeper into that in the...
Well, let's go a little deeper into that. A 150-year-old coin, all right, the chances that those surfaces have not been ruined while being circulated in wagons and bags of coins being bashed around in banks and wagons and the trucks, armored trucks and slot machines and cash registers and keys and pockets. What's the chance? How are the surfaces going to survive 150 years of that and still be mint state? That don't make any. This stuff that they say does not make any sense.
A little bit here, but right now what we're talking about is
what the stuff does do. It does keep the value of the collector's coin up in the 15%, and the collectors and the value of the non-collectors down in the 85%. Okay, and I don't mind being in the 85%. Now, when it comes to shoot skeet, all right, if I got my 20 gauge out there and I'm knocking down the birds, okay, I want to be in the top 15%. All right, if I'm in a college class taking anatomy, I want to be in the top 90%. But when it comes to coins, I don't care. 35, 40%. I got my silver. The price is going up. It's going up. It's going up. These things sell for more than I bought them for. I could get my money back on silver just by the price of the silver rising. It has nothing to do with being a collector.
The condition of a coin. You cannot improve the condition of a coin through any kind of means. It can't be done.
No, you cannot improve the coin in your opinion. Now somebody else might look at the coin and say, I don't want the dirty one, I want the clean one. Okay, that's your opinion as a collector, but it's not my opinion as a stacker.
It's like trying to go backwards in time. The condition of a coin is graded on a scale that we call the Sheldon grading scale. It's a scale of 1 to 70, with 1 being almost theoretically bad and 70 being almost theoretically good. So once a coin has received any kind of wear, any kind of...
Those are collector coins, okay? Those are gradable coins. He needs to separate it here. He should do a video on the collector coins and a video on the uncollectible coins.
Friction, the grain starts dropping from that theoretical 70, and it keeps on going down and down the more the coin gets jostled and bumped around and worn down through commerce. That's how a coin receives a lower grade. Theoretically, when a coin is first released from the mint, it's the...
And that's when I buy it, when it receives a grade that is so low that it is not cost effective to grade it. That means if you buy the coin and then you pay to have it graded and you add those two numbers together and you cannot sell it for above that number, it's not cost effective, okay?
Highest possible grade that coin can be, somewhere in the upper 60s, let's say, for example. But as a coin goes through circulation, goes down to the 50s and 40s and even 30s and even lower than that, there is nothing you can do chemically, mechanically, or otherwise that will raise that condition back up again.
That is absolutely right. You cannot, once the coin grade or condition has dropped down, you cannot bring it back up. You cannot put silver back on the coin that has come off of the coin or been smashed on the coin. If the silver smashed, if the silver oxidized and fell off or got washed off, no, you can't put silver back onto a coin. I mean, that seems obvious to me.
You can't rebuild that coin once it is worn down. So that's the first ordinal rule of coin.
I could polish some cartwheels on it, but I usually don't because it makes it look phony and fake.
Cleaning is that you can't improve the quality of the condition of the coin by cleaning it. You can't bring it back up to a 55 or a 60 once it's dropped down to a 35 or 40. It doesn't make any difference what you do to it. You cannot improve the condition of the coin. That's number one. And I'll actually, I made an entire video series. In fact, we'll probably include these two videos in that video series, The World of Coin Collecting. Volume 4 in that series, I talk about coin grades and coin grading if you'd like a deeper dive into that subject. I think it's a pretty fascinating subject, so I'll put a link to that video down below if you'd like to continue on with that. The number 2 ordinal rule of coin cleaning is that a coin's value cannot be improved by cleaning. Now, this is like any rule. It's got exceptions, and I will touch on some exceptions. If you're saying, no, that's not true, hear me out. Number 2, a coin's value cannot be improved by cleaning.
You know, I got one mint state coin that I sent in the PCGS, and I cleaned it, sent it and got it graded, got a 61 on it, and
generally speaking, when a coin is cleaned, especially when it's cleaned by somebody. Now, this is like any rule. It's got exceptions, and I will touch on some exceptions. If you're saying, no, that's not true, hear me out. Number 2, a coin's value cannot be improved by cleaning. Generally speaking, when a coin is cleaned, especially when it's cleaned by somebody who doesn't really know what they're doing, and I'm going to get off my high horse here because I do kind of know what I'm doing, but you can even include me in that group, right? You can say that Dub C doesn't know what he's talking about.
I have seen people on here who sent a coin to PCGS and got it graded. No. They had they paid $100 for conservation services, and then they got it back with a detailed grade. I have a little problem with them taking money from me too. So I don't trust those guys. I don't. You know, the stick your nose up in the air. They're very snotty.
There are professionals who do know how to clean a coin. We call that conservation. So that is an entirely different subject.
The book calls it preservation. Okay, so you guys you keep switching the word. First you called it, if this is the book, I have the book. First you called it cleaning, then you call it preservation. Now you're calling it conservation. As long as you use the right vocabulary.
Subject. We're talking about the most commonly seen
Put a
forms
gold
of
ring
coin,
in our
and I'll go
video.
over those in just a minute also. But generally speaking,
Focus
a coin
on
that
the
has been
ruby.
cleaned, if it
Focus
has any
on
kind
the
of
ruby.
numismatic or collector value, we've been calling that extrinsic value on the channel recently, the coin will go down in value once it's...
That's mean of me to make remarks about. I'm sorry about that remark, okay? I know, that's wedding band. It's all good, it's nice looking. I hope you're happily married and for many years to come. I'm alone now. So one day I will be back with my wife right after I die.
it's been cleaned. The third-party graders who take a look at coins and grade them will call a coin cleaned and will give it a details grade rather than a straight grade on that 70 or 1 to 70 Sheldon scale.
I think we all know
That
that.
has a significant impact on the value of the coin.
Just make sure you fill the form out or you'll lose $250 at PCGS like I did.
Why would you want something that was dirty and old and dark?
I don't.
When you can clean it and make it bright and shiny and new. Coin collectors know what an uncirculated...
That is false. This coin is cleaned, okay, and it is a little shiny. I wouldn't call it bright and shiny. It doesn't look new, okay? It has tarnish on it. It just has to have so much tarnish that you cannot see whether it's got VAMs or not on it because it's covered up by your tarnish. Okay, you may have a valuable coin and it's just covered up by a bunch of tarnish. Don't remove, this is not, looks like brand new. The date for one thing makes it look old, but just the gray, dark toning, but it still looks silver, see? I took off enough of the toning that it would look silver, but it still would have toning to make it look as old as it is. Okay? Take it all off. Sometimes I take it all off. It depends on the coin. It really, every coin is different.
Like. We can tell
every coin is
with absolute
different.
certainty what a coin was supposed to look like when it left the mint. And again, you can't improve the condition of the coin by cleaning it.
For a Morgan dollar that's left the mint 150 years ago, well, maybe it's like 140 years, 130 years, but you get the idea. What's the chances it's still going to look that way after people have been using it, circulating it?
And that was rule number 1, right? The ordinal rules. So rule number 2 is that we can tell when a coin has been cleaned, and it does decrease the value of the coin in almost all circumstances. There are very, very few exceptions. There are always exceptions, and we'll talk about some of those, but that's number 2.
Well, I already talked about the exception, and I know. That's right, there is an exception.
Value cannot be improved by cleaning. In fact, you will almost always reduce its value by cleaning the coin. Number 3, a coin's appearance is not improved by cleaning. That, again, sounds counterintuitive, right? There's that dark spotted coin versus a coin that's bright and shiny and new.
If I hold that black coin right there and that silver coin up in front of my granddaughter and I say, which one do you want? She's going to take that shiny, clean silver one over that black one right there every time. But if I go down to Phil's coin shop, he don't want this silver one. He's going to want this black one. I don't know why he wants this black one, but he's going to say, yeah, I like that black one. So it's not every time.
But coin collectors know what a clean coin looks like. It's been something that's been tried by the most...
I'm not selling my coin to a coin collector. I'm selling it to a silver stacker.
Sophisticated coin doctors is what we call them, for hundreds of years since coin collecting really became a thing. Coin collectors, especially those who are dedicated to this hobby, can spot a clean coin a mile away. We know when a coin has been cleaned. And a coin's appearance, if you think as a novice, as somebody who's kind of new to this, is going to...
Well, from Phil's coin shop to my daughter's house is about 1.5 miles. All right? So I'm okay. Phil can't see what's going on in my daughter's house. So he can't tell my grandkids, hey, you better not like that shiny, pretty coin. Donna would rip his ass.
Look better, you're not...
She does all that. She makes jewelry and stuff, and it's gotta look like clean, nice, beautiful. And she's like, just throw it away. I don't want to take it. I'll take that down to Phil's and sell it.
Correct. Those of us within the hobby don't like clean coins. We don't like the way they look. We like a coin, generally speaking, that is more natural. So that's number 3 of those ordinal rules. And I kind of hit on number 4 of those ordinal rules, that as coin collectors can always tell that a coin has been cleaned. Maybe you can't tell this time. What if I just give it a little bit of cleaning? I got this solution that I've heard about that I can dunk this coin in, and you're not going to be able to tell that it's been cleaned. That is not true. We can tell, we coin collectors can tell a
I'm not a coin collector and I can tell.
away. We really can. So while some people might be fooled sometimes, those of us who have been involved in
Not
this
trying
hobby
to
for
fool
any length of
anybody.
time can tell.
I
when a
tell him,
coin has
look,
been
it's been
cleaned.
cleaned. You take it to
And we,
Phil's, he's
generally
only going to
speaking,
give
do
you
not want
25
that.
bucks for it.
So these are hard to follow sometimes. These are hard to
Sell it
swallow.
on eBay, get 35
But
bucks.
number 4 of those ordinal rules, coin collectors can always tell that a coin has been cleaned, and we don't like them. We don't want clean coins in our collection. Number 5.
That's good. I'll put them in my
probably
collection.
The final
I'll put them in my
boss
stack.
rule of coin
Not
cleaning.
my
and this
collection,
one's
I'll
gonna sound
stack 'em.
particularly harsh, and I actually came
You
up
just
with
give me
this
all
just a
those
couple
Morgan
months ago. I
Silver
liked it so
dollars
much,
you
I
don't
decided to
want,
make a
and I'll
series about
stack
it.
them up,
The
and they
final
will
boss
increase
of
and
the
increase
ordinal
and
rules of
increase in
coin
value
cleaning
as
is
the
that
value of silver
every
goes
time
up.
you clean your coins, you make my coins more valuable. So even
An
if you
average
disregard
Joe
all
on the
those
street
ordinal rules
likes
that I
the
just read off to
date
you,
when
you
it's
should
in
understand because
1878.
of attrition, that is, coins just like silver bullion, gold bullion, and anything else gets lost, gets stolen, gets scratched, gets dented over time, gets cleaned. It makes those pieces that are authentic and original
Gets
that
letters
much more
scratched
expensive.
in it.
I just got done explaining to you that a coin collector does not want a clean coin. So of a very small population, especially if you're talking about very
Got a
rare
bad
coins,
scratch. Give it to me. I'll take
the
it.
number of
Go
those
on my
pieces that
stack.
have survived, in fact, in some series, there are very few examples that have survived without being cleaned and messed with. Those examples that have never been cleaned and messed with are worth so much more money than those pieces that have been cleaned incorrectly. So that's the final boss.
There is no
of
correct
coin
way to clean a
cleaning. Every
coin.
time you clean
There is
your
no
coins,
incorrect way. There
you
is no
make
correct
my
way.
coins more valuable, because Debs, he does not clean his coins, with the exception that we'll be talking about here in just a little bit. I know that one sounds harsh, but like I said, I came up with this one a couple months ago, and it really seemed to.
I'll tell you for sure, if people did not like clean coins, there would not be so many people talking about cleaning coins on the internet, and more of them every day. I mean, you wouldn't be talking about it if somebody didn't like their coins cleaned. What your job is as a coin shop owner or whatever is to convince them that they don't like what they do like, to further your profession, your set of rules that you want to apply to those other 85% of the people your rules should not apply to them, man.
Gain traction. So I think it's important to remember, every time you clean your coins, you make my coins more valuable. So you don't necessarily.
I don't care if I clean my coins. That makes your coins more valuable. If I clean 85 of ungradable coins, if that makes your gradable coins more valuable, well, that's good for you. But I'm not going to pay that kind of money for them, because I'm just stacking silver and I'm watching the price of silver, the spot price, rise until I look at my coin and I say, I could sell that at my local coin shop and get my money back. It's grown. The value has grown so much, even though it's a cleaned, it's a detail, genuine coin with damage.
You have to believe me. In fact, like I said at the beginning of this video, I don't want you to believe me. I want you to question everything that you hear online, because there is a lot of misinformation out there. In this case, I'm going to provide a link.
Well, if you don't want me to believe me, if you want me to question everything, not only will I go look online, I'll actually try things out and see, in my own opinion. Nothing's better than being your own eyewitness. I don't believe the shit people read. The shit people sell me, okay? They're trying to put money in their own pocket. They're not. In some certain instances, they're trying to help me. In some certain instances, they're just trying to put dinner on their table and buy a nice car.
Link down below to the American Numismatic Association's own video on YouTube where they talk about cleaning coins. Now, I take umbrage with at least one small part of that because the gentleman who was talking in the A&A video mentions cleaning coins and it being okay to use water, but he doesn't specify that it's not okay.
You know how you can restore the value of a coin? Keep it for 10 years. If it's a silver coin, keep it for 10 years. The value will be well restored.
Okay to dry those coins with something like a cloth, and I think he probably should have said that because using something like a cloth or a brush on coins will often leave tiny scratches that we call hairlines, and that is in fact evidence.
In the original rules, in this book, it tells you what kind of brush you have to use. There's a time for a brush, and then there's, which is hardly ever. I use sodium fluoride. I don't need a brush, okay? But I guess it was a really tough penny or something.
That a coin has been cleaned. So even the ANA probably doesn't take it as far as Dub C does when it comes to cleaning coins. But don't believe me, watch the video down below. No matter what you've heard online, no matter what videos you've seen on YouTube or TikTok that says this technique is 100% safe, or museums around the world use this technique, or this biggest collector or stacker in the world uses this technique, they're wrong. They are just clickbait videos. They are feeding you misinformation.
I don't know if this is clickbait or not. I think it's unfair that you think all toothpaste is the same. For one thing, this toothpaste has over twice, almost 3 times as much sodium fluoride as your toothpaste. All right? For another thing, where your toothpaste has silica sand in it, okay, this has toilet paper, okay? Which do you think is the most abrasive, sand or toilet paper? Your sandy toothbrush, toothpaste, or my non-sandy toilet paper, finger brushed toothpaste. Not all toothpaste are the same, okay? And you just act like, you guys act like, well, toothpaste is toothpaste. It's all the same. All of it has sand and silica. There's no silica in this. It's pulp, wood pulp. It used to have plastic polymers, which were so much better, but they're expensive.
Again, hear me out. I know I sound opinionated. This is something that I'm actually
almost
pretty
3
about.
times as much
So
sodium
you
fluoride.
might have heard of some of these techniques.
No
I'll just pick off
sand.
the ones that I've seen videos for on places like TikTok and YouTube that are.
I'm sorry if I sound angry, but when you have to tell people something over and over and over and over and over, you're like, your voice gets louder and louder and louder. But I'm not mad. Dub C's is a cool guy. I mean, he just has his world, and I have mine. I don't dislike him for his world, and I hope he doesn't dislike me because of my world. Because I'm not hurting anything except for ungradable coins, and I'm probably, in my opinion, in most people's opinion, I'm not even hurting them. It's just those. That 15% guys.
Absolutely false. This is not how to clean a coin. This is how to ruin a coin. So we'll start with number 1, toothpaste. That seems to be something that people really gravitate towards. Toothpaste is an abrasive, right? It's actually not small amounts of things like baking soda in it. Because it
baking soda is, try it. Get some baking soda, get a modern day quarter, put it on there, and see if you can scratch it. You're not gonna achieve that, okay? But I don't use baking soda.
Is an abrasive. It does scrub your teeth clean, but it does the same thing to those very delicate surfaces that we talked about.
Okay. Toilet paper. I use toilet paper to wipe my butt, okay? It's really hard to scratch metal with toilet paper. I know you're going to tell me, well, it's got oxidation on the surface. It's going to break loose the oxidation. That's going to scratch the surface. Well, your coin ain't mint state if it's all oxidized, all right? Maybe you can still get it graded. But in my truthful opinion, when coins come from the mint, they do not have oxidization toning on them, okay? That's a controversy that's happened over the years, and you know that. Is it tarnish or is it toning?
About that coins have.
And they rewrote the rules to be financially advantageous to themselves.
And whenever you're using anything abrasive on a coin, you are going to probably leave tiny scratches on the surface. And we can tell that. We coin collectors look for that. We know what to look for. And we can tell with almost absolute certainty that a coin has been treated with some kind of an abrasive compound. Toothpastes are...
Yeah, but you see the scratches and the hairline scratches and stuff on the surface from a toothpaste are not going to be as bad as the scratches that were on the coin already because it's an ungradable coin. Okay? I don't know why I can't get you to get... See, you're not separating it into the two categories of gradable and ungradable. And that's your big mistake.
Are abrasive. They just are.
No, they're not.
Number two.
This is not abrasive. If it was, I wouldn't have any teeth.
Aluminum foil and baking soda. This is a very popular one. You've probably seen this. There are lots of different iterations of it. People talk about using hot scalding water and maybe a little bit of lemon juice also, dumping some baking soda in with a piece of aluminum foil, and magically tarnish disappears off of something and lands on the aluminum. Now that's true. And
if you want to do that, get a train transformer. Add electricity into the mix.
And it's actually not the worst.
And no, I don't do that.
Way in the world to clean silverware or big silver objects like that. But a coin surfaces are incredibly delicate, and you are transferring the compounds that protect the silver coin, the tarnish, right? That silver oxide is actually going from...
The coin surface is actually more susceptible to let's see. The coin surface and the silverware surface, okay? The coin surface is actually harder than the silverware. Because the silverware is like 0.925 or something like that. So it's got a higher silver content, so it's softer. And the coin is 90%, so it's got a lower silver content, so it's harder. So I don't agree with you there.
From the coin to the aluminum foil. When that
But then not only that, is it hammer hardened silver? How much has it been pinged? Not only is that 90% silver got less silver in it, so it's harder. It's also been rattled around in your pocket, and every time it rattles around, it gets harder and harder and harder. The silverware just sits there and waits for Thanksgiving to get here.
Method actually works, and it can be tricky to get it to work. But when you're seeing that oxide, that silver oxide transferring, it is impairing the surfaces of the coin.
Yeah, it's ripping the
Not
silver right
every
off.
single time, but in almost all circumstances, we can tell when that.
Toning is a sign that some of the silver has been ripped off of the coin and is now being used to make an oxide to make some pretty rainbow colors.
Aluminum foil and baking soda and lemon juice. Baking soda is an abrasive, lemon juice is an acid, right? You're using these objects potentially in a way that can harm the coins. Keep that in mind. That's number 2. I've heard lots of things about jewelers' cloths and pastes and polishes. Anytime you're talking about a silver polish, something like that, that is using incredibly harsh.
Now, jewelers use red rouge. Red rouge is ground up rust mixed with wax. Okay? There may be a time, let's say some old lady cleaned a coin with a Brillo pad. Okay? And you looked at it and it's all scratched up. And you're like, man, I don't like that. I would rather just have it shiny polished than be all scratched up. So you get out the jeweler's polish and you work that baby over and you take out those nasty ass SOS pad scratches and you replace them with a finer grade of scratch. It does it makes the coin more appealing. To have a fine polish rather than a SOS pad. So you can do that. I mean, you can remove damage that somebody else has done, okay, by just removing everything and replacing it with your own damage, which your damage looks better than their damage. Okay? It increases the I've had enough.
Chemical compounds or abrasives that are mixed. I said abusives, that's funny. Abrasives that are mixed in with it. So you're really doing the same thing. You're chemically stripping the surface of the coin or using some kind of an abrasive that is grinding away the surface of the coin. We can tell that that's been done. That does impair the quality of the coin.
Well, I think I'm going to shut it down here. You know, pretty much from here on out, he was talking about the acetone and stuff. I think that's citrus acid. Fingernail polish with probably has some dry cleanup of it in it. Jefferson T. Rowe. I'm going to have to go to the library to load this one. Man, got to go to the library to load a video. I think we spent a half an hour and only got halfway through. Peace. See you later. Jeff's out of here.